With a lead-in like that, I'm not sure that I should be up here anyway. He mentioned the qualifications of a co-director, and he said you had to be a breathing, and you didn't specify much beyond that. So let me assure you that at the moment, I am breathing, and I am a fully qualified Army infantryman. At least that was way back in my memory. I'm enjoying this moment. You aren't, but I am. It is a joy to be able to see an audience here, to hear the noise, to hear the singing. Thank you. The 2 years that weren't, they were hard on all of us. So hopefully we will make up for some lost time. And with that, I will get started. As the second year of my tenure, there's so many people I need to say thank you. I want to thank you for your prayers, for your encouragement, for your ideas, and for the encouragement. You know, the co-directors are, it's been my experience that working with the co-directors has been very much like working with elderships that I've worked with in the past. The camaraderie, the sharing of ideas, the fellowship that we enjoy. This thing is loose. It's been wonderful. And I want to say thank you to each one that I've served with in the past. The eldership at Burleson, I don't know if there's any way to describe how much impact they have had upon this mission and their constant participation with it. But it is wonderful, and I am very appreciative for their efforts. Since this is my first real live workshop as a co-director, I can assure you that I'm continuing to learn the duties and responsibilities of a co-director, especially in this area. And I'm very thankful for the support that I've been given by Pat, the ladies that have worked with her. There's a lot of facets that go into the co-director role, and especially mine, that there's a lot of people that I need to say thank you. I probably don't even know who all those are. But in the meantime, thank you. You know, this particular generation, us, is pretty unique. You know, we're raised, many of us, by the quote-unquote greatest generation. Yeah, what do they call us? We are caught in a tremendous generational shift. Most of you, I went too far, might remember that. You know, the Big Chief notepad and number 2 pencil? The big fat ones that little tykes could handle. That's where we started. And then along came the grandkids with email, Facebook, and everything else. You know, if there's any significance to the colors of those arrows, some of us just shut down. Some of us proceeded with a great deal of caution. Some jumped in, like, great. And most of us were probably like the one on the bottom, very mixed as we went through this. But now, whether it's by force or by choice, we have kind of made that migration. One of the tools that we have available to us, Dave has already mentioned a little bit about it, and that's our website. The website is a great recruiting tool for those of you that want to let people know what we do. It has pictures in there. It has the history. It has forms. It's a very useful tool for us to have wherever we go. Yes. That's what the front door looks like. When you open up the website, that's what you'll see. And within it, then you can go to various other places to pick up those ideas that you, or whatever you need, the forms, the history, just some of the background. One of the areas that falls into my responsibilities is instructionals. These are opportunities to help local congregations or local entities as they, in whatever they need. These are typically developed by sojourners based upon their skill level, based upon their experiences, and it's an interesting scenario. I would encourage you, if you have specific skills that could be useful to small congregations in particular, develop an instructional, a pathway, a lesson, a seminar, something to the... Okay, thank you, I think. Develop those. Let the office know so that we can kind of track what's going on, what is available. Now, there's also an option of some of the instructionals that are already developed. People are looking to retire. That kind of happens in this age group. We get to the point we need to pass the torch. That may be an option for you, to pick up that torch from someone else and move on. And if you do an instructional, please let the office know. This just helps us in our better planning for the day's work or the next year's work. It may give us an idea as to needs that need to be fulfilled. So that would be very beneficial. Among the instructionals that we have, Listening Lab is probably the keynote. Some of you had the opportunity to go through that training here this last weekend. I went through it years ago and have pretty much successfully forgotten everything that I was taught. I actually thought about going through it again, but I was afraid that people would expect something of me. We have 9 other instructionals that are active at this point in time. Now, we have 3 instructionals that are semi-active, but are looking for a new torchbearer. So give that some consideration. You can talk to me, or you can talk to some of the folks that are doing these things and see if you can find out which direction you would like to go. Another area, promotionals. This can be some of the most fun things that you do. And for some, it may be the most terrifying thing. Instructional, or the promotionals, are our recruiting. Not only for new sojourners, of which we love the fact that we've got some new ones, but also an opportunity to recruit for requests for help. What sojourns out there? There's a lot of folks that I have met as we've gone to some of these conferences that don't know what sojourners are capable of doing. Well, I'll even say it more bluntly than that. We've got some camp directors that have worked with sojourners that don't have any idea what a sojourner can do. You show up there, they've got all this work lined out, and you're done with it. I sure didn't need that interruption. It's a great thing about hearing aids. They don't let you hear the phone ring, but they sure do me. If you have the opportunity to do a promotional, and really every one of you do, every time you wear your badge and you talk to someone, you are performing a promotional. But share your enthusiasm. Speak of your experiences, preferably the good ones or the funny ones. And also request. Ask them if they need help. Let them know how we can help. You are, as it says, working for the future by sharing the past and our vision of what the future will bring. So what does the promotional board look like? Well, right now, there are 15 on the board. Just as a frame of reference, last year at this time, we had 13 on the board. We have performed 16 that I know of, with one more to be performed this weekend. Because you had new suggestions. Of the 15 on the board, there's another one I'm already starting to look at. Promotionals happen at all times. We do our best. And I have to enlist Pat's help on some of this because I don't happen to live here. We do our best to make sure that you have the equipment that you need to do a promotional. We've got a very nice kit set up. Sometimes you get the full thing. Sometimes you get part of it. Sometimes you use all of it. Sometimes you don't. It depends on where you're at and what the scenario is. You notice on this particular overhead, there we go, that yellow arrow emphasizes that there is not a team leader needed here. And part of that goes to the policy and procedure that Dave neglected to talk about. I didn't ask him. I said I would take this one. But some of these promotionals are really, we're going to call them coordinators, because some of them may be headed up by a woman. And the reasoning is, and there's criteria. And let me go ahead and we will look at the criteria. I hope that looks better for you. Yeah, it does. The criteria for women to head these up is prior experience with the entity. If you graduated from that college, you know that scenario better than most anyone else. If it's a ladies' conference, I don't feel comfortable being at a ladies' conference. I have been in the past. Not as a promotional, it was another deal. And I really didn't feel comfortable because they put a red bow tie and an apron on me. And then they kicked me out after I'd served the food. So there's special criteria here in which the ladies can be the coordinator here. So that is an option. That has been a change there, and be careful with that also. The Resource Center, for some of the old-timers, it's changed. It's not hidden back here around the corner. We now have a resource table at the back. The hours there, well, it's pretty much open all the time, but especially be manned during these hours. All payments, that's one of the changes, will be handled through the office staff. We have forms there on the table to what you can order, which, yeah, I get caught up here eventually. Check those off, take them to the office staff, pay your money, come back, we've got the supply. And at such point as you buy everything we've got, I'll go sit down on one of these other tables. So what do we have? Well, primarily, right now we've got books back there. Remember that generational transition? We're going to more digital stuff, fewer and fewer books, fewer and fewer paperwork goods. But we do have books there. And the interesting thing is, these books, part of the funds go into the Sojourner Fund itself. So, yes, some of these are available out on Amazon, but Amazon doesn't kick back anything to the Sojourner Mission. Buying here, yes. And they're cheaper, if that makes any difference. From last year, or the last time we met, there's 4 books by Steve Johnson that we have. We still have those available. We also have 2 of Dave Layton's books from prior years. I guess the other one sold out, Dave. But the great thing is we have new books. Some of these are brand new, relatively hot off the press. And they are also available on Amazon, which, by the way, if you haven't or aren't aware, Amazon Smile are so generous that whatever you spend there, we get half of 1%. That comes back to Sojourners. Well, it's not a lot of money, but it does mount up. I think I checked this morning, and it looked like $800, I guess, this year. I'm not sure. But that's an option. One of the other things that we have, and these will be on flash drives. There is a copy back there, but Brenda Blair says it's her personal copy, and she wants it back. But it is available on flash drive. The History of Camp B. I strongly recommend that if you have not read that, buy it, read it. It is amazing, to me anyway, the vision, the dedication of the early sojourners who mortgaged their own homes, who had a vision for what this land could be. And we're reaping the benefit of that vision. Now, and I'll cover that a little bit later, what is our contribution to the vision? We also have the electrical handbook. All of Scott Westfall's wisdom, experience, and whatever else he could steal from the National Code Book is included in this. I asked him, how much should we be charging for this? Well, he wouldn't give me a number. But he did say this: I want people to be safe. I want people to know how to do things right. So it's a $5 flash drive. Enough said. The workshop, yes, my talk is also going to be recorded and be on that flash drive, but you can skip past that. The morning sessions will be recorded and will be on the flash drive. This, of course, will not be available until Thursday of next week, after we finish the morning sessions. And postage is typically included on that. Now, it is a $25 item, but if that is a big problem to you, you don't want the convenience of having it in your pocket so that you can put it in your computer, read it, listen to it anywhere. We also, as Dave has already talked about it, the YouTube channel. And as Dave mentioned, we do have instructions on the back at the resource table how to get onto the YouTube channel to access these. It is currently free. So if the price is a crucial item, you have that option also. Those are the primary areas, although all of us are needing to look to the future. How do we contribute to the mission, not just by working now, but where do we go? What do we become? Our recruiting needs active sojourners. That's pretty obvious. New sojourners, if you were here for the honor roll yesterday, you know why we need new sojourners. Plus the fact they're fun to be around. Active instructionals with presenters. This helps get the word out. Promotional opportunities. Keep your eyes open. I know one of our sojourners from the Northwest, every time he visits a small congregation, he asks, can I take 5 minutes or 10 minutes to tell you about sojourners? And I really, really want to let you know that one of the best, most effective recruiting tools is highlighted with the arrow. And you'll probably have to help me work on that occasionally. But the Sojourner Smiles. That tells the world a whole lot about what you are, what you're doing, and it's inviting to people. So keep that in mind. It's already been mentioned, and I listed it this way: considering and charting our future. The co-director nominations. This, right now, beginning yesterday or the day before, the nomination period for co-director for Sojourns, my position, Education Resource Center and Public Relations, those nominations need to be in prior to January 10th so that the co-directors can evaluate those nominations, make recommendations to the Bertelsmann elders. They will make the decision and notify you accordingly. This is found in Section 1.3 of the new Policy and Procedures Guidelines, also in Appendix B. Consider that, because you are helping to chart the future by your nominations. And I can't say enough how much that has been, how important that is. Yes, this is my last slide, so you can start breathing again or wake up, as the case may be. I continue to ask for your prayers, for your help, for your ideas, as together, and that's the only way we can move forward to fulfill the aspects, and many of them, of the Sojourner mission. May the Lord continue to bless us as we utilize our experience, our skills, our strength, and hopefully our wisdom, that we may accomplish the good works that the Lord has provided for us to do. So, boy, I'm behind time. Let's go sojourning.